Hi there, everyone. Well, I first want to apologize that I've been gone as long as I was again. So I was gone about a week to my mom's, and she lives in Alabama now, so that was a little bit of a drive. So I was gone for that amount of time, and then unfortunately, we wanted to do a video together, but she's still practicing with the fountain pen, so she wasn't ready for it, and I'd like her to learn, but I'm certainly not going to press it on her. But anyway, so I want to apologize for that. And also, another factor was I think it was right before I left, and I think I may have said, I don't remember if I've said on here. I know I did on my Instagram, but my Meemaw had a really bad fall that week, and so she was kind of not doing so good, and she's getting a lot better. I'm thankful for that. I'm beyond grateful she's okay. It was a bad fall where she hit her head, um, so there's that, and so she's gotten so much better physically, but I've got to be there for her mentally, as she forgets things and stuff. But anyway, this is a video I really wanted to do for you guys, and but before I even get started on it, I have to say this to you because it means a lot. Is I noticed that I've gained at least 10, if maybe 10, 15, 20 subscribers, and I'm just stunned, and I'm simply beyond grateful for you guys being willing to listen to me and watch what I do, and noticing that, that there are people that were interested in what I'm doing, and it means a lot to me. And, and because, with fountain pens and vacuums and pouring art, they're really neat. Like, I don't know if the word is niche or niche, but they're like that of a thing. And that's why I'm on here, really. And I'm also on here truly because of you guys, because I'm still kind of trying to fit in and find people that I would know up here, because this isn't where it was Knoxville that was my home, and I've been up here 4 years, and I'm more used to it. But anyway, long intro there. But the point of this video I want to do, because I was kind of interested to go back in time myself on it, and like reflect on it a little bit, because I know that someone will ask me this one day, and it's, how did I get interested in fountain pens? And I think that I was like, that would make a really good video. And I saw Mr. Stephen Brown's video, how he got interested, and I guess maybe my experience is a little similar, but it's not it's different in a way, because we didn't start learning cursive in my elementary school until, I've got notes down here, so if I'm not looking, I'm sorry for that. They were still teaching cursive in my 4th grade. I just remember 4th grade because I liked that teacher, and maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, and up, they were teaching cursive. They were doing the Palmer method of letters, and that's what influences my handwriting even to this day. But I'm still certainly doing my own thing a little bit with how I write, and stuff. Like, I love I love the N that my mom does for her last name. I mean, our last name. And so that's one thing that for a while I was doing my own cursive N, but now I loved hers, and I admire hers so much that I just started doing it recently. Anyway, so that would be about kind of the start, just where did I get the handwriting. But I'll save handwriting for another video. That's going to be another topic. But before I even get further in, I think my biggest, the most important reviewers that I know of, or at least the ones I watched the most, was I basically watched Mr. Stephen Brown go from his beginning to and up, I think, because when I got interested, I saw his traveling inkwell video, and I thought that was really cool, but I didn't know, I didn't know what everything was yet. So but anyway, but I knew he was there, and he's still someone I look up to. I also really like, I really like Mr. Doug from Inquiring Minds. I love him. I love what he does, fixing pens. And I recently started watching a lot of Mr. Hemingway Jones, and I've never seen a more put together man. Like, I'm just amazed at how articulate he is, and he just fascinates me. And then his pen knowledge is quite good, and that's wonderful. And and then I really admire Mr. David Parker from Fig Boot on Pens. That's another that I quite enjoy. And just your top tier reviewers. And anyway, but I'll go on. I'm sorry, a tangent there. But so basically the beginning that I can come up with, I assume 10, 11 years ago, I guess. Don't know. Let's see, I'm 25 now. I guess. No, I had to be younger, so even longer time ago. Anyway, and so it was elementary school. No, sorry, 10, 11 years, that I get my first good pens. That's what I was trying to think of. But elementary school, I think it was, I want to say 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, some year in there. Can't recall. And we were being read the book Frindle by Andrew Clements, and then in chapter 7, his teacher, because Frindle meant pen in the book, so he was wanting to create a word for the dictionary, I believe. Anyway, I won't ruin the whole story. It's an interesting story. I actually just listened to a little bit to prepare for this. And so, let's see. Yeah, okay. So it was near the end of chapter 7. His teacher, who's Miss Granger in this book, language teacher. Sorry for the light. I had to put a light here because it was storming real bad and we lost power. Anyway, and sorry about that. So his teacher Miss Granger was showing him the old pen that she had. So she had an old fountain pen. And just hearing that they're still relevant made me interested a little bit. I mean, I didn't get bit by the fountain pen bug just yet, of course. I mean, I'm 9, I think, whatever I was. Yeah, I was like 9 or 10. I don't know. And so that got me getting to be like, oh, there's still a fountain pen. What's that? Like, I want to know what that is because I was interested in learning the cursive already. So I was like, I'll have use a pen that's kind of more fancy to do fancy writing. I guess that's what my train of thought was. And so it led me to just type in fountain pen, I think. Or did an episode come up? I'll have to see. I don't know which was first, if I researched fountain pen or if I saw this that I'll tell you about. But I saw the episode on how it's made, where it was how it's made fountain pens, and they were touring the Aurora factory, and that was really interesting. I was so immersed in that episode. I was fascinated with the handiwork, the workmanship that goes into a good fountain pen. So obviously I'm like, well, how much is this pen? And then I'm just absolutely devastated because the pen is $600, $700, $800 US. So I'm like, well, poo. I'm never gonna get that at the time. I was like, crud, I really want that, but what am I gonna do? Because I didn't know, I didn't know that there was a cheap pen at the time. I only knew I just jumped head over heels, like off the Olympic diving board, and accidentally noticed expensive pens. So anyway, from that, let's see, and so I saw that episode. Okay, and then So like I said, I looked up the Aurora brand, and actually now that I own two, now I can appreciate the handiwork of that. And so then I was like, hey, Mom, because it was mom and dad at the time. Obviously now I'm almost by myself now, but anyway, and so, sorry about that. If I'm pausing a lot, I'm sorry, but it's a long time ago for me, so, and so I asked my mom, I was like, well, how can I get a fountain pen and it not be like that? She said, well, how about you go to the pen aisle when we go to Staples and Office Max and see if they even carry a fountain pen, because of course even she's going to doubt that there's a fountain pen, right? And I think that, I can't remember which of the two office stores it was, but at the time this was that long ago, long enough ago that they're not, none of them like there are now. I mean, I think the only fountain pens in those stores is like they have two that I last checked, and was the Cross Bailey and Aventura is the only two that I've seen nowadays. But they had a lot of interesting, like, Chinese pens, or they had some Chinese pens, but they did have a Waterman. Actually, it was long enough ago they had the Waterman Phileas or Phileas or whatever that is. So that was a choice, but it was still too expensive. And I'll get into that later. I did end up with a Waterman later, but anyway. And so I was looking, and they had Waterman, Parker, Cross, and then just kind of these random brands. So the good news is I found it, so that's good. And I ended up getting, I don't know how much money it was. It couldn't have been bad. I bet it was probably like $20 or something. And I just looked it up, and it said that Monteverde might have made it, but I don't know for sure because mine doesn't say it. But I got it's like this, but I got a red version of it, and I don't have any more because I gave it to a friend, and because he seemed interested, and I was like, I'll just let him see if he has it. And I've never seen him ever again, but that's okay. I want to share the pen hobby. That's my big thing. And so it says it's Aldo Domani, whatever that is. So I'm sorry about the pronunciation, but the other one was almost virtually the same, about like this. They're metal pens. I've busted the clip into pieces now. Okay, guys, I'm back about that. I'm sorry that ran out of space. But anyway, so the pen I was referring to, the Aldo Domani one, and it's a standard international cartridge. I think that I know I was buying standard cartridges because another part to this story that really helps is that there was a Maury luggage in our mall, and at the time they did still have pens. They either were doing really high-end or mid-range pens. They did Parker, Waterman, Cross, and Mont Blanc. That was the moral of what they did. And of course I was like, Mom, one day I want a Mont Blanc so bad. But anyway, and it wasn't that. But so when I used this for a while and really liked it, but I didn't know much about how to do it until another big part that a lot of people probably, all in the fountain pen community, that we know is how helpful and just so incentive meaningful that it was when Brian Goulet started the company, and then he did the Fountain Pen 101. Of course, I sit and watch every single one of those, and that helps me know that I'm supposed to clean it out between colors and everything. And, if it's not working, how to get it going and everything. I can't remember if I got a converter for this or not, but regardless, I had those pens. Interesting pen. I didn't pay attention to much about how it wrote, but I did feel it was easier to write. So, and I don't know if this is from Monteverde. I doubt it. It was so inexpensive. It just says Iridium Point, Germany on it. It's all it says, medium nib. So I went from that, and then my Nana, so that was my mom's mom, I'm going to go kind of quick because I don't know how much space I have on this stupid phone. But anyway, so she she didn't get it for me. She found this in her, like, mantle drawer or dresser drawer, whatever, and it says Parker, and she said, hey, this is a pen you might be interested in, because it's a fountain pen. So she knew that I was interested in that. And I don't know when she got it. I think she said it was a gift that she never used. Parker 75. Don't know what the year is on them, but anyway, had this. There's actually 2 of them, and I don't have the other one. I think I got rid of it. I couldn't fix the nib. I was stupid and bent the nib trying to make a thicker line, and I sprung the nib. Or did it fall? But whatever, I sprung the other nib, which was a shame, because I liked that one better, because it was a medium, and this was a fine or extra fine, the one here. So I was already starting to figure out that I like a broader nib at that time. So anyway, so that was the next one that was around. And then I think after that, so I've got one to represent it, because I don't have it, because it started leaking everywhere and stuff. But my next pen, I said, Mom, I really want to get a nicer pen that's new. So I still like that, but it wasn't. I was like, I want to go back to Staples, or I think, no, I went to Stef'sVacs this time, I think. And I went there, and I was like, hey, what do you think is the best fountain pen? Of course, they're like, you want a fountain pen, really? Like always. And they said, well, right now, the best thing I have is from Cross, and it's like 40 or 50 bucks. And I said, well, what do you think, Mom? She was like, yeah, we'll get that as a gift for you. So I had that until it was not as good of a pen. Of course, I didn't know that, of course, I didn't know that it was not as good of a pen as now. But anyway, but I did rebuy the Cross Bailey, and it's not too bad. I know that a lot of them are shying away from Chinese pens, but I actually find them pretty fascinating. Kind of like how that guy in Australia who reviews pens, and he gets a lot of them. I'm kind of more like that. And anyway, so, and they're just medium nib, but both this and, I don't know, the one I first had didn't have a converter. I didn't get a converter till the next one, which I'll show you. But this, I put a converter in it. But the Aventura is a plastic pen from Cross. It's the one with the slant here. It's a little bit bigger. So after that, I go back to the Maury luggage, and I'm finally ready to get a pretty good fountain pen. And I say, well, actually, I end up being good friends with the clerk, and this woman, she was real sweet. She's this older lady. I still remember that all the time. And she's like, well, you can, I've got some that you can write with. I think that's what happened, yeah. And so what I picked then, and it is hilarious to me that this is what happened, because it's what happened with Stephen Brown, but I end up with a Waterman Hemisphere. And I still like this pen to this day. It's a little bit thin for my taste, because I like Model 146 a lot, and it's a lot girthier, and I like the Premier from Edison a lot, which you already saw in that video. But medium nib, love it, feels great, but just like it happened with Mr. Brown, this one has, did it have it? I don't know if it had it to start, or if I got it. It doesn't have anything in it right now. But I got a converter for it, and I bought Mont Blanc Black and Blue, Mystery Black and Mystery Blue, I think. I don't know, but I got those there. Fell in love with this. This is my favorite pen ever, and so that brought me, I was like, however many months or years later, whatever it would be, I went back and I said, I want to get a different brand fountain pen, but still be pretty nice. What would you say? And that one was like 70 bucks. I'm already starting to climb the ladder, so to speak, of price. And she goes, well, we've got a Parker, and I like it pretty good, I think is what she said. And she's like, it's just 50 or 60 bucks. And I was like, okay. And I end up with Parker IM. And then at one other point I had the Urban, but I don't like the Parker Urban very much. It's just too weird shape. But this one's not too bad. I like the little engraving around that and on this barrel and stuff. I don't mind this pen too much. I know some people hate this and the Urban, but I'm like, I hate the Urban, but I like this one pretty good. And the Urban leaked everywhere. But then again, I'm still new at pens. I don't even barely know much. But this one I got a converter for too at the time. And then I started using Parker Clink a little bit at that time and started doing schoolwork with Parker Clink at the time. And so that was that one. And now the last one that I got was the like cherry on top. This is, I almost cried when I got this as a gift. So my mom said, I know that you've always wanted a pen that is very nice. So not just ones you've been getting. And she gifted me this, and I'll always cherish this all my life. I'm probably going to pass this one down. The sad part is I'm not a huge fan of how this one writes, but I still need to test different paper and ink and stuff. So I'll still like it somehow. I want to make myself like this one. And it's this one from Mont Blanc that she got at Maury Luggage as a gift, Christmas gift. And it's the, oh, I know I'm going to butcher this, and I'm sorry, but it's the Herbert von Karajan, I believe, special edition. It was the first, I don't think it was the first, sorry, I had like a Noodler's Creeper in between the Parker and this one. So that was my first piston filler. But this is my first like real pen. I think this is, no, this would be my second gold nib I have, because the Parker has a gold nib. I don't know if it's 14 or 18, but it's a gold nib. But this, I still like it to this day. I mean, in looks. I still think 146 writes a little better right now. But then again, that's a broad, and this is a medium, and you know me now, I would think, because I like broader nibs, but solid pen. And I know that this is going to hold good value when I pass it. And then I think later on she got me, we started in these. I had a Mont Blanc wallet for a little bit, but because I'm here, I mean, our crime rate's not bad, but I did get my first wallet stolen. Unfortunately, it kills me to this day. Luckily, I didn't have much money in it, but that was a darn good wallet from Nana, who passed away a little bit ago. I'll always miss it, but it was at Walmart that I was working, and I sat it down. What can I say? You know, that's the end of it usually. But this one, I'll cover it one day, and it's beautiful, just gorgeous. I love the piano because I'm into music, and it just is wonderful. And I think that sums up everything. I want to sum this up quickly because of my space on here. But I appreciate it if you made it this far and you come to the second part of this and you seen it. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that might be interesting to you, especially if you're new to it or whatever. And I think that's pretty much it. And I just want to end and say thank you. I know it's been years since he did it, but thank you to Mr. Brown for inspiring me in this. He's not the only one, of course, but him and Mr. Goulet, they were kind of the two that got me in here. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you when I can. I'm sorry I don't upload like I want to, but my life is obviously different than I thought it would be. So I just wish you guys the very best. I will see you. So